Hello, everybody. Isaac, the new backwoodsman, here to tell you about this awesome, super entertaining book that I just finished reading, The Tactical Knife by James Morgan Ayres. I was inspired to get this book because I own his other book, Survival Knives, and he mentioned in this book that he had previously written this book. So, both excellent books. The Survival Knives book I got at my local Ollie's discount store. So, if you have one of those near you, perhaps they have that book in stock. Go check it out. It was only like $7 or something there. But if not, you can get it on Amazon, probably other places too. I did order this used from Amazon for a few bucks, and very glad I did. This book is fantastic. It, a comprehensive guide to designs, techniques, and uses of the tactical knife. The book starts off with a history of the tactical knife, going back to the very beginnings. And I mean the very beginnings, when knives looked like that. And then, it even goes to tactical folders. Great pictures in this book. So many cool knives. Right there. That's a folding knife from the ancient Roman period. Going through the history section, one of my favorite chapters was on long knives of the American frontier. That is a historical reproduction hand forged by Daniel Winkler of the long knife of the American frontier. And it goes into the Bowie knife. That is the classic 19th century Americana stuff there. Beautiful pictures, all kinds of nice custom stuff. There is a lot of custom knives in this book that are probably out of reach and such for most of us, but they sure are fun to look at. Then, of course, World War II, got to mention the K-bar. Cold War, Vietnam era. The author, James Morgan Ayres, former Army Special Forces. He was 82nd Airborne in the 7th Special Forces Unit. And during his time in the military back in the 1960s, way back when, he carried the famous Randall Model 1. They were expensive back then, but man, he lists a price I think they paid back in the early 60s for a Randall Model 1. I want to say it was like $38 or something like that. Now you're paying a good $600 for that knife. And and it goes on the different folding knives. There we go. Famous folding knife. Chris Reeves Sebenza. It talks about taking some teenagers out into the woods to survive with just folding knives. One of them used a Sebenza, one an Almar Sear, and the other a Benchmade McHenry Williams. Not sure what that model is. I didn't look it up. It's long been discontinued. Another chapter in this book is what he calls tiny tacticals. So, like neck knives. There's the Essie Azula Becker Necker. This is a cool design. Spyderco Street Beat. It's like a 3.5-inch blade designed by French custom knife maker Fred Perrin. There's also a larger version called the Street Bowie. That's like a 5.5-inch blade maybe. It talks about just different ways he reviews knives to test their toughness. There's a guy hanging on a stone wall with a small DPX Hest. Then he goes into the last 100 pages of the book are just reviews of knives from tons of different companies. They're all in alphabetical order. So first one, A for Almar, Sear 2000, and Eagle over there. He's got Bark River in there. This one, I love this Browning Crowell knife, no longer in production, but I know a couple people in the knife community own this knife. I know Donovan too owns it. Maybe Legion Tactical Cutlery. He could confirm if he watches this. And Spartans, CRKTs, Falk Nevens. The author is a big fan of Falk Neven. Gerber's in there. You know, all the kind of major companies. Not every knife, just a few knives that this author has personally used and tested. You know, we go into basic skills, you know, draw cuts, push cuts, shear cuts, the stab, the chop, batoning. Batoning, he says, it's an essential skill. So, definitely goes into some kind of photos of training techniques. Those training techniques say you don't necessarily need a big knife, big tactical knife to defend themselves. The knife used in those training photos is the Spyderco Cricket. It's maybe a 2-inch blade, but the tactical knife by James Morgan Ayres. Highly recommend this book if you are a knife fan. And also his book, Survival Knives. That's the Spyderco Military. Another of the author's favorites. He didn't really put his favorites on the cover of this book. Not that he doesn't like those knives, but you know, his Randalls, his Falk Neven, that Spyderco Military, talks about that in this book too. But cover's a cover. There are definitely cool blades on the cover. Lots of cool information about blades in the book. So if you like knives, like to read, get that book. If you like knives and don't like to read, you could probably get that book anyway, because you might still find it interesting. All right, so anyways, take it easy, y'all. Until next time.